Now entering the faculty of the USC School of Dramatic Arts. Please rise to welcome the class of 2023. Please welcome Emily Roxworthy, Dean of the USC School of Dramatic Arts.
Please be seated. Good afternoon. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the USC School of Dramatic Arts, it's my distinct pleasure to welcome you all, family, friends, and graduates, to the 2023 USC School of Dramatic Arts Graduate Commencement Ceremony. Yes. It's a big day. I am so proud to stand before you today to celebrate these students and their accomplishments and their creativity, as well as to say, well done and bon voyage. I know, there's gonna be tears, I'm warning you now. So that's because I know what is ahead for you, a great journey. Your graduate studies have come to an end. After today, you will no longer be students, and your future begins today. And I have confidence that you're ready to face that future and that you're ready to turn challenge into success and success into triumph as you've done during your time here at USC. But I'm going to start our day by thanking the excellent and talented faculty who have guided you through these years. Yes. I would also like to acknowledge the entire staff of the School of Dramatic Arts, not only Jennifer Franco, without whom none of this would be possible in terms of our events, but especially our inimitable Vice Dean, Lori Ray Fisher. She has helped so many of you on your journey to get to today, and she has supported your artistic growth as well as all of the students of our school, and I'm so grateful for that. And of course, an enormous thank you to you, the parents, families, and friends of this graduating class. We're all grateful for the belief and support you've given our students, your students, and that you've given to us as their educators. And finally, I want to thank you all, the graduating class of 2023. I know that I speak for all of your professors when I say that you have inspired all of us with your passion and your courage, your determination, and your talent. It's been a delight to watch you work, and I know that I will enjoy watching you continue to grow in the years to come. But in just a few moments, you will no longer be students, but alumni of the School of Dramatic Arts. To welcome you to these prestigious ranks, I would like to welcome faculty member, chair of the SDA Alumni Leadership Council, and in-game host and MC for the Los Angeles Dodgers, Tom Polos to say a few words.
How we doing? Seems like a mighty group. I can't see because the lights are very bright. But can we get a woo? I feel like we need to get a woo. Can we get a woo? Woo! All right. Ric Flair in the house. Okay. Wow. Congratulations. Thank you so much for that kind introduction. I apologize if I get emotional. I hate attention. This is very hard for me. But seriously, though, thank you to Dean Roxworthy for the honor of speaking at your commencement. You can't spell commencement without me, literally. Twice, actually. Takes two me's to tango. But as much as I'd like to make this about me, this is about you, who are merely minutes away from becoming graduates of the USC School of Dramatic Arts programs. So, I represent the Alumni Leadership Council, which I know is something out of Hunger Games or Harry Potter. But I am here to welcome you because, according to Wikipedia, I am an alumnus of the School of Dramatic Arts. Also, according to Wikipedia, I am a spokesperson who has raised money by running endurance races, which can't be true because I have only run late to class at MCC, PED, and the Scene Doc Theater. Perhaps all of you on the Bing or Binge stage can relate. We spent all last night binging or binging. It's hard to say which, but I clearly have no accrued wisdom to offer you, but I do want to offer you this. Solely by graduating, you folks are welcome into the USC Alumni Association and have access to all of the advantages that come with that distinction, which I heavily encourage you to take advantage of. Not only the perks and incentives that come from many local and global businesses, aka free or discounted stuff or help along the way, but the joy, fellowship, and support system that comes from joining your fellow SDA alums. It sounds cheesy, much like a double-double from In-N-Out, which I will house after this, but the Trojan family is the real deal. My closest colleagues and friends today were once my goofy classmates that bantered about PED, EVK Parkside, and all nearly failed Theater 130. I'm sure there's a class you almost collectively failed. But the mutual memories of over 7,000 diverse SDA alums are far-reaching. And many of us have learned the same lessons from the same life-changing teachers, and David. But we have all rolled around chairless classrooms, shouted onomatopoeia, and committed various to kooky exercises that rang through the halls of MCC and PED, chilling those poor ROTC students who we thank for their service. Inside jokes will echo in our performance venues long after commencement and DPS has called our names. And us alums, we are here to help. And we want to remain in touch so we can continue this unique story together. For real, it may sound crazy, but there are a lot of perks to graduating from this fine institution. So please sign up to our alumni email list or reach out directly to hear about the many ongoing epic and inclusive events that aid the careers of our alumni, honor our past collective accomplishments, and support our students. USC School of Dramatic Arts continues to be the epicenter for community-driven storytelling and the entertainment capital of the world, and y'all are the next chapter. And I'm excited for that chapter. Sincerely, I'm in awe, I'm impressed. Your degree is already by nature more impressive than mine, but I'm just here to offer you my sincere gratitude for the effort you put in, and I'm not here to offer you wisdom, just the gentle reminder that alma mater translated means generous mother, and now we all got the same mom. So I hope she unblocks me soon. Happy Mother's Day for all who celebrate. Congrats to the parents and grandparents. Thanks to ChatGPT for writing this. The WGA for writing everything else. And thank you for your time. It only goes by faster. Congrats, fight on, and welcome home.
Thank you, Tom. I'm turning the pages of Tom's speech because he had his own copy of his speech. Okay, we're good now. Thank you, Tom. The School of Dramatic Arts grants 2 graduate degrees, a Master of Fine Arts in Acting and a Master of Fine Arts in Dramatic Writing. Today we have 2 class speakers representing each of these concentrations. Representing the Master of Fine Arts in Acting is Levante Herbert. Oh, good. I'm going to talk about you now, so you can stand there. Perfect, right there. Levante Herbert is an everyday man born in the Gilpin Court Projects in Richmond, Virginia. A blue-collar storyteller from the South from a family of 5. Levante is the first person in his family to go to college, and he wants his family to know that we are all graduating today. I'm sorry. We all graduating today. I want to read this exactly as Levante wrote it. His personal upbringing is what fuels the inspiration for his art. A Golden Glove boxer and a Marine, but he credits acting for what has transformed him into a better human being. Please welcome Levante.
Hello, faculty, family, and friends. Thank you for being here this afternoon. Class of 2023, congratulations. We did it. In a few moments, we'll be receiving a master's in acting. In a few moments, faculty will become colleagues. And in a few moments, we'll be beginning one journey and ending another. But before we take those first steps, I think it's only right that we reflect on just how fortunate we are. I truly believe that we have the greatest teachers in the world. I've learned so much as an artist, but even more as a human being. David Wachowski. Thank you for everything, man. It's been a blessing to learn from you these past 4 years. Your understanding of culture, race, has transcended barriers as both a teacher and made me a better human being, and it's invaluable to a student like me. Thank you, man. I want to let you know that you taught me to be a craftsman. Nasako Ohama. Your transparency has been invaluable to my growth as a person. Sometimes I wish you were more translucent. It's difficult to describe exactly what you do. But I only mean that because the work is so intuitive, so personal, so prescriptive. You are a master in what you do. I am amazed at the amount of information that you are able to obtain solely by listening to the vibration of one's voice. It's truly remarkable. Your awareness, understanding of your craft, and your ability to use that knowledge to train each and every one of us shows the dedication that you have into making us a better artist, the best artist that we can be. In wintertime, I watch you oscillate between director to teacher to collaborator, all while keeping track of each actor's personal journey as it pertains to each of our careers. Thank you for never removing the bar, but encouraging us only to reach higher. Michelle Shea, Finola Hughes, you both have impacted us in ways that are unimaginable. Your accessibility and willingness to share your wealth of knowledge of this craft makes learning from you an honor, and it's truly an asset to this program. I find comfort in knowing what you have pulled from us as actors and human beings and will sustain us as artists in the world. Family and friends, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for being here and your support. Thank you for not judging us when those phone calls start to slow down. It was all for this moment right here. And last but not least, Dean Roxworthy. You don't play any games. In your short tenure here, you have transformed the School of Dramatic Arts into something special. Literally, you're building a whole new School of Dramatic Arts building. But it's not just the opportunities outside of the institution and the new brick and mortar of the new building that has transformed the school, but the culture, the enthusiasm, and the environment inside SDA as well. You are the true definition of being the tip of the spear. Thank you. I mentioned earlier that this school has helped me to become a better human being. When I first read the email notifying me of callbacks that Sergio sent, there was a motto in the bottom left-hand corner that said, "Fight on," in bold print. This was all I did in my life to get to this point now. I grew up in federal housing projects, Gibbon Court, that's located in Richmond, Virginia. My parents are Leon Bronson and Lori Herbert. They raised me and 4 other siblings. The only thing that was important to me growing up was to never burden my parents. They kept a roof over my head and food in my belly. The reason that I am up here today is because of them. Everything I've ever needed in life, they've given to me. I graduated high school with a 1.1 cumulative GPA. That got me 3rd from last in my class. Of about 300 people, I was number 297. I did so badly, I had to wait until I was 26 to go to college so they wouldn't use my high school transcripts. That's the law in the state of Virginia. I quit about 30 jobs. My favorite part of getting a job was the day I could quit, because it was the only thing that gave me a sense of dignity, taking my own time back. One of the only things I ever stuck to in life was boxing. I was very good at it. It was a very hands-on type of activity, and I'm a tactile learner, and I was enamored by the idea that you can get better at something through repetition. My coach had sent me up to a training camp with his sons one day. I was training to make my professional debut. I was boxing for about 8 years at this time. And one day I walked in the gym, just as I did for 8 years straight, but this time I just felt a little different. Me and my coach's son were running on the treadmill, and I looked over and I asked Moshe, "Do you love boxing?" And he replied, "Hell yeah." I turned to my left and I asked his brother Emmanuel, "Do you love boxing?" His answer was even more emphatic. Then I thought to myself that these guys had passion and that I was just doing this because I was good at it, and I needed to find that passion for myself. I got off the treadmill, hung up my gloves, and never put them on again. Told everybody I was going to be an actor. It upset a lot of people that poured into me. Couldn't explain to them that I always wanted to be an actor. Ever since I was little, I hid it from my family. I hid it from my friends, and I hid it from my teachers. I hid it because I never thought someone from the projects could be that. There's a saying in this book, The Alchemist. It's about human desire. It says that when you want something bad enough, the whole universe conspires in order for you to achieve it. I truly believe that because things just started happening when I had my head and my heart made up. I found out that I would have to go back to school because actors actually had degrees. But I was 26 at the time and didn't need to use my high school transcripts. I went to community college, then I transferred to Norfolk State when I had enough credits, and I met a person who later on became my mentor and was instrumental in developing me as a young man, Professor Anthony Stockard. He helped erode a lot of the hardening that I encased myself in to survive in society. I can only thank God for his patience, and I have nothing but gratitude toward him. Thank you so much, Professor Stockard. Then I was fortunate enough to audition and get in here at USC. Here, I've had teachers who have furthered my curiosity, challenged my imagination, and have consistently eroded the limitations that I have placed on myself. The school has given me belief in myself, confidence, and courage that I wouldn't have dared give myself permission to have. I came here as an actor, a pretender. Today, I, my fellow classmates, stand before you as artists. We stand before you as artists, ready to head into the machine itself as our full, authentic selves. 7 years ago, you couldn't pay me to believe this is where I would be. Giving this speech, doing something that brings me joy. A dream that I kept to myself since I was 5 years old. I don't have a job anymore. I'm starting a career. Class of 2023, congratulations. Each of us have had our own personal journey along the way. Personal obstacles, personal challenges, personal adversities. And each and every one of us have prevailed. I know the thought of beginning our careers might be scary because of the variable of the unknown. But even in that fear, we must trudge forward and remember the brave artists like the ones that did what it took to get here to today's commencement. Persistence, fortitude, and determination. Those truly are the three virtues. Fight on. Thank you, USC.
Thank you. Thank you, Levante. Ooh. That was really great. Representing the Master of Fine Arts in Dramatic Writing students is Adi Eshman. Adi Eshman is a playwright, screenwriter, and teacher. His plays have been read or workshopped at USC, Columbia University, NYU, Los Angeles Theater Center, Rattlestick Playwrights, excuse me, I'm a little bit of a mess. That was really great. Rattlestick Playwrights Theater and The Tank. The short film that he wrote, Anne, is an official selection at more than 30 festivals throughout the US and Canada, and I'm going to add this because you're too modest to say it, was a contender for the Academy Award for Best Short Film. For 3 years, Adi was the writer's assistant on Steven Soderbergh's experimental HBO drama, Mosaic. He's a former member of the Civilians Field Research Team, a member of the Dramatists Guild, and a member of the Alliance of Los Angeles Playwrights. Please welcome Adi.
Hello to my fellow graduates in the dramatic writing and acting programs. It's an honor to be up here sharing some thoughts with you. They've given me 3 minutes to change your lives forever. So let's do this. The playwright Maria Irene Fornés once said, "Playwriting isn't a career, it's a life." It's a wonderful idea, but behind this statement is a kind of challenge. What does it mean to make playwriting a life and not just a career? I struggle with what she's saying because so much of what I do during the day is not playwriting. I know my fellow writers understand this frustration. I wake up in the morning with every intention to write, and then I have emails to send. Or I wake up in the morning with every intention to write, and then I have to go to work. Or I wake up in the morning with every intention to write, and then I watch YouTube videos. So by the time I look at my watch, pages are due, it's 6 p.m., and class is about to start. So all these feelings creep in: shame, self-doubt, anger, even sadness. I ask the question, why do I do this to myself? Why am I in an MFA program for playwriting when the words just don't come? How can I be a playwright who doesn't write plays? And so with these thoughts swirling in my head, I go to one of the professors in our program, Luis Alfaro, who happens to be a former student of Maria Irene Fornés. Luis, I say to him, I'm upset. I know that my heart is in playwriting, but sometimes the words just don't come. I feel like a failure. I feel like I should just hand in my playwriting badge and call it a day. And what does Luis say? What does Luis say to all of us in our classroom when we come to him with these familiar thoughts and concerns and feelings? Luis takes a deep breath and he says to us, "You're always writing. Even if the pen isn't moving, the mind is in constant motion. You're writing when you're doing research, you're writing when you're with friends or with family, you're writing when you're walking on the beach or walking your dog, or when you're at work, or when you're horseback riding or surfing in Malibu, when you're watching YouTube videos. You're always writing." Now, the contrarian in me, the part of me that wants to poke holes in people's arguments, the Jewish part of me, says to Luis, "Okay, that's a great idea, but writing is writing. I mean, if a theater asks me for a draft of a script, I can't send them links to all the YouTube videos I watched." Well, Luis is unmoved by my doubt, by my skepticism. If we can accept that we're always writing, it creates a crack in these dark feelings we have about ourselves. It lets in a little light when we feel closed off to the potential inside of us. If we can trust that we're always writing, hope and forgiveness can come in and dilute the doubt and self-loathing and fear. And that hope can power the creation of something new, vibrant, and original. We are always writing. If we can let those words seep into our hearts, our souls, and our bodies, then we can live up to what Maria Irene Fornes once said: "Playwriting isn't a career, it's a life." I want to thank the USC professors and staff for supporting us on this journey, and thank you to the MFA actors for lifting up our words and elevating us on stage. Thank you to the incoming year 2s and 3s. I'm sure you're going to navigate this next year with excellence and determination and bravery. And once again, I want to congratulate the graduate writers and actors at the USC School of Dramatic Arts. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you, Adi. Sorry, turning more pages. I now have the great pleasure to introduce to you our commencement speaker, Madhuri Shekhar. Yes. Madhuri Shekhar is an award-winning playwright, screenwriter, and an alumna of the USC School of Dramatic Arts MFA in Dramatic Writing program. Her plays include House of Joy, Queen, A Nice Indian Boy, In Love and Warcraft, and Antigone presented by the Girls of St. Catherine's, among others. Her work has been developed or showcased at theaters across the country, including Center Theater Group, the Old Globe, and the Kennedy Center. And she was one of the first recipients of Audible's new commissioning program for emerging playwrights. She served as a staff writer on HBO's The Nevers and wrote the screenplay for the upcoming feature film Sister Act 3. It was recently announced that she will adapt the acclaimed novel The Immortal King Rao into a TV series for which she will serve as an executive producer. Please join me in welcoming Madhuri Shekhar.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to unfold my speech. Gosh, I'm so profoundly honored to be here today. It still feels a little surreal. This is such an important day. A recognition, a celebration of the huge amount of work that you have done for your art and for each other over the past 3 years. I'm so proud of you, and still a little confused as to why I'm here. I feel like I was just sitting where you are, like I was just here. You know, when I graduated, David Henry Hwang was our commencement speaker. Tony, Obie, Grammy Award-winning, path-breaking, trailblazing theatrical luminary, David Henry Hwang. You got me. But then when I thought about it, when I thought about his speech, I realized I don't remember a single thing he said. what I do remember is how he made me feel. I remember that I felt like I was graduating into a world that had room for me. It was the same feeling I had when I first met Valina, when I got to know Paula and Oliver and Louise. Until then, I had no idea that people like me could even do this. So maybe that's what I can offer you today. I'm here. I work as a writer. I support my family as a writer. I have a family. I have 2 unbelievable little boys and a husband who's my favorite person to sit on a couch with. Of course, the story's more complicated. Of course, your journey will be different than mine, but there's room for all of us. And here's the thing I've learned since I graduated. We make that room. It's not given to us. We carve it out. We hold the seat, we hold the door. We build the ladder over the wall, and then we protect the ladder until we can demolish the goddamn wall. We make room. I want to talk a little bit about the writer's strike that's going on right now. Back in March, I was sitting in a packed hall in New York City with hundreds of other screenwriters and TV writers, and most delightfully, several other playwrights. Our union leadership took us through the rapid and devastating decimation of our industry, the way in which loopholes have been exploited to devalue our work, to extract from us free labor in bad faith, and to treat us, not just our work, but us, human beings, as disposable cogs in a machine. It made me furious. As I saw the charts of how much writers struggle to make a living wage when they are the foundation of one of the most powerful and profitable industries in the world, I thought to myself, but wait, this is happening everywhere. This is the story of the millennial generation. This is the shit show that Gen Z is inheriting. And this is happening to most careers, from Starbucks baristas to graduate teaching assistants to healthcare workers. It is extractive capitalism, short-sighted, self-destructive. And until recently, I felt like it was seemingly inevitable, but now I know that it's not. Because we have the power to say enough. And we are demonstrating that right now. Being part of this labor movement, being part of this strike, is the most inspiring and hopeful moment of my career, possibly even my life. I have lost so much sleep over the past few years about the world that I have brought my sons into. But right now, thousands of union workers across Los Angeles, New York, and Chicago, not just WGA, Teamsters, hospitality workers, SAG-AFTRA, IATSE, and more, they are taking a stand and refusing to cross picket lines. A better world is happening, and we are all of us here, we are a part of it. Of course, this moment didn't happen overnight. We have the power to strike because of decades of sacrifice by writers and artists who came before us. But in a moment when the world feels so bleak, this is a reminder that nothing is inevitable, that not only can we take care of each other, we really want to. We really, really want to. If you haven't joined us on the picket lines yet, please do. Everyone is welcome, and you will feel what I'm talking about. You'll feel it. I want to talk a little bit about American theater. My work in TV and film allows me to earn a living as a writer. It gives me and my family health insurance. But theater, playwriting, is what nourishes my soul and always has. Nothing gives me the particular kind of joy as the first day in a rehearsal room for a new play. Without theater, my mental health suffers terribly, and the past few years offered concrete proof of that. It is because of my devotion to theater that I felt a profound disillusionment with the industry in 2020 and 2021, to the point where I almost walked away entirely. At the beginning of the pandemic, when everything shut down and the weeks stretched into months, I saw my friends lose their work, lose their livelihoods, with no indication of when it would return. Playwrights have never learned to rely on theater as a way to earn a living. It's just the way it's set up. But that's not true for actors, directors, stage managers, designers, technicians, people who work several shows a year, often traveling from stage to stage. Almost overnight, their livelihoods disappeared. And I waited with naive hope for the theater institutions, the big theater companies, to do something about it, to take care of their artists. I waited for them to lobby Congress, to press their boards, their funders, to take some sort of collective action to help the artists who were going without work. They did lobby Congress, but only to save their property. The Save Our Stages Act was successfully passed as a lifeline for shuttered venues, a $15 billion packages to help arts and music venues stay afloat during the shutdown, but nothing for the artists. I know this is complicated. I know. I know how embattled and impossible it can be to run a theater company. I know and love many of the arts leaders who were desperately trying their best during a very dark time. But it was just a clarifying moment that showed me the true priorities of these institutions. I felt betrayed, but in a strange way, I also felt empowered, because I realized that I wasn't lucky to get my plays produced by these theater companies. I needed to be grateful. They were lucky that despite everything, I was still writing. I realized that I do not owe institutions my loyalty. I only owe it to my fellow artists. Seeking prestige or validation from institutions made no sense to me anymore. Theater is a precious gift. I decided that every project I would take on would be only for audiences that I cared deeply about. Children, or people like my parents, or people who can't afford to see theater. Those are the people I care about. And I wanted to make art for and with artists that I loved. Nothing else really matters. And I get that not everyone gets to make this choice, not everyone can afford to. But I want to say this, especially to the writers in the room, especially to any artist, when you get a little bit of power in the rooms that we go into, let's really do what we can, whenever we can, to take care of each other. One of the greatest rewards of an MFA program like this are the relationships that you make with each other in the trenches. Sure, it might be trauma bonding, but it's real. I hope you continue to lean on each other and prioritize each other as you build your careers. I am excited to welcome you into the scary, difficult, and exhilarating next phase of your lives. It must be terrifying to graduate into a shutdown of the entertainment industry, like 3 years after the last one. So I will leave you with advice from someone far wiser than me, and who typically isn't even here today, Luis Alfaro. When we were leaving school, he told us that in the long fallow days of our careers, when nothing seems to be happening, when nothing seems to be going our way, like when you don't know how to keep going, he said, do one thing for yourself, one thing for your community, and one thing for your art. Every day, one thing for yourself, one thing for your community, and one thing for your art. So I have to admit, I've never actually been able to do this myself. It's a good day for me if I finish my water bottle, but it is a mantra that has helped me on my lowest days. And if you haven't heard it from Luis himself, I offer it to you. One thing for yourself, one thing for your community, one thing for your art. And here's a tip. I find that if I do something for my art, it is the best thing I could do for myself. I'm so proud of you. My email is madhurishaker@me.com. If there's anything I can help with down the line, just reach out. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. And congratulations, yay!
Okay, thank you so much, Madhuri. Now, before we pass out the diplomas, we have a little bit of housekeeping. We're going to have a reception immediately following the ceremony in Queen's Courtyard, which is just outside the Bing Theater. At the conclusion of the ceremony, please remain seated until all the graduates have exited the theater, and you may meet your graduates at the reception. Feel free to take photos during the presentation of degrees, but please stay seated and keep the aisles clear. A professional photographer will take pictures of all the graduates as they receive their diplomas, and these photos will be available to you to order afterwards. Now, to present the degrees for Master of Fine Arts in Acting, please welcome Professor of Theater Practice and Acting and Director of the MFA Acting Program, David Warshofsky. along with Professor of Theater Practice in Voice, Natsuko Ohama.
Enter DW, cross directly to podium. Will all Master of Fine Arts in acting candidates please rise and be recognized? Presenting the candidates for Master of Fine Arts in Acting. Master of Fine Arts candidates in row number 2, please remain standing, and all others be seated. Here we go. Emily Arancio. Emily is a recipient of the Ava Greenwald Award. Emily would like to thank her parents, professors, and her cohort. Woo! Lindsay Esch. Lindsay would like to thank the family that loves her and the masters who taught her. Levante Christopher Brunson. Levante would like to thank Lori Herbert and Leon Brunson for their sacrifices, Kritzia Edmonds for her patience and love, Anthony Stockard, his guidance and discipline, David Warshawski for his awareness and dedication, and Natsuko Ohama for her courage and transparency. Appreciate you all. Will the Master of Fine Arts candidates in row number 3 please rise and be recognized? Shaheem Keyshawn Parker. Shaheem is a recipient of the John Ritter Award. He would like to thank God, his family, and his team. Alexander Prius Prout. Alexander would like to thank his friends and family for all the support. Now, will the Master of Fine Arts candidates in row number 4 please rise and be recognized? Christopher Strombeck. Christopher would like to thank his family for their support. And Summer Pascal Young. Summer would like to thank her friends, Rayon, Kiona, and her family for their love and support. You are the inspiration behind everything I create and what I aspire to be. To her professors, Natsuko, Ahmed, Michelle, Fanola, Kate, and David, you are the village where I found my voice and my art and inspiration for life. I am eternally grateful for each and every one of you.
Thank you, David and Natsuko. To present the degrees for Masters of Fine Arts in Dramatic Writing, please welcome Professor of Dramatic Writing, Associate Dean of Strategic Initiatives, Associate Dean of Faculty, and Director for MFA in Dramatic Writing, longest title in the school, Oliver Mayer. and Professor of Theater Practice and Dramatic Writing, Paula Sismar.
Presenting the candidates for Master of Fine Arts in Dramatic Writing. Will all Master of Fine Arts in Dramatic Writing candidates please rise and be recognized? Christina Carafiel. Adi Eshman. Adi thanks family, friends, and professors for their support. Matilda Corley Schulman. Matilda is a recipient of the Joan Bieber Award. Matilda would like to thank her family and those at SDA. Congratulations, class of 2023. On behalf of the faculty, staff, parents, relatives, friends, and most importantly, the students, it is my honor to thank our dean for guiding us through this year with energy, humor, and heart. Dean Emily Roxworthy.
Well, this is it. We've come to the end of the show. You will leave this stage, and I have no doubt that you will make us proud. You've already made us proud. But please remember, did this last? Oh my gosh. Please remember you will always be part of the SDA community. Let us know how your lives and careers unfold and grow so we may celebrate with you. We look forward to welcoming you back as friends, as distinguished guests, and the inspiration to future generations of artists. Graduates, please stand. On behalf of the University of Southern California and its School of Dramatic Arts, I declare that you are now well and truly graduated, and you are officially the class of 2023. Congratulations. And I don't think anyone loves ritual more than theater people do, so this is something we say every year. All the world's your stage, so go take it and fight on.